Hi friends! Today I am partnering with Tippsy again. Tippsy is the largest subscription service for Japanese sake in the United States. They are providing not only sake, but the experiences to make your life much more enjoyable, especially in this holiday season. Before start introducing each sake, let's take a quick quiz on their website to find out what's your favorite.
Alright, now we are on the Tippsy website. You can find the link in the description box below. Let's type in your name first and press continue. If you don't know what to choose, the quiz will show you the best match. You will find the different alcoholic beverages on the first quiz: white wine, beer, whiskey, and sweet cocktails. I'm going to choose white wine. I'm a sweet tooth, but I don't want sweetness in my drinks, so I will go for white wine. Press white wine and that will bring you to the next page. What temperature do you like to enjoy your favorite tea? This is definitely hot. I drink hot tea even if in the middle of the summer. And press hot. Next, what is your favorite dish? Definitely sushi. Press sushi. And the last question is your favorite fruit. It's a difficult question which one to choose. I love all of that, but I go for melon and peach. And type in your email. There you have your best match of sake. Mine is Tenmei Classic Kame no O. This is so interesting. When you're scrolling down, you can find more information about the sake and $20 discount code on the page. This is a very quick and fun quiz, so please go ahead and do it and find your best match. And you can also find 15% off for holiday gift box. I'll put the link in the description box below. I'm so excited to open a Tippsy package designed for the bottle that doesn't move around, and you can get it securely, the cute little 6 bottles.
Let's start with Kiku-Masamune Kojo. Kiku-Masamune is a very famous sake company in Kobe, where my family is from, so this is my local sake. Sake is classified by the rice polishing ratio, and this is a Junmai style sake, so the rice has been polished into 70%. The outer layer of the 30% has been removed, and the other ingredients are water, koji, and yeast. Kiku-Masamune has its own original yeast that provides the unique aroma and taste. The recommended serving temperature is 4 to 15 degrees Celsius, so I chilled this overnight. Let's take a sip. I feel bold mouthfeel with a strong umami with a green apple note. It's refreshing, but the umami is so strong and the aftertaste is so long. I like this so much. And I think this sake is good for both the beginners and the advanced drinkers.
Kiku-Masamune is a unique and characteristic sake, so I pair it with a light dish made with avocado and tofu with a mushroom sauce. Cut off the stem from enoki mushroom and shimeji mushroom. Tear it into small pieces and put it in a frying pan. Add 2 tablespoons of shiokoji, give it a nice stir and put the lid on. Cook on medium-low heat to about a couple of minutes until the mushrooms are softened and draw out the moisture. Take off the lid and give it a nice stir to evaporate the moisture. Give it a taste, and if you feel it is not seasoned well, add some more shiokoji. Shiokoji is the fermented seasonings with the koji and salt. Add a nice complex aroma and make it tasty when you use it instead of salt. Transfer to a container and you can keep it in the fridge for a week. Cut the avocado and tofu into dice and put them in a dish alternate and pour the mushroom sauce over it. There you have it. The recipe is made by one of my friends who is an expert in vegan dishes, and she said the umami from the mushroom and shiokoji multiplies the umami even more.
Next, I'm going to introduce Dewazakura Oka. Dewazakura means cherry blossom. As the name indicates, it has a floral aroma. This is a ginjo-style sake. The rice has been polished into 60%. That means more fruity and more clean taste, I guess. So let me take a sip. This is recommended served chilled. Smells so good. This is so interesting. Smells so floral, but when you take a sip, you feel the bold umami to it. And it is very juicy and leave the strong aftertaste of the umami from the, what is this? Kombu-like umami. Yes, a lot of taste and aroma going on your mouth. I like this.
For Dewazakura Oka, I pair it with tsuke maguro and onsen tamago, marinated tuna and soft cooked egg. Because it has kombu-like umami, these complement each other when you pair it with fish. First, let's start with making onsen tamago. Onsen tamago literally means hot spring eggs, which is basically a soft cooked egg. It's not cooked by boiling, but just soak eggs in hot water to leave them for a particular time by keeping a specific temperature. Egg yolk start setting over 65 degrees Celsius. Egg whites start setting over 60 degrees Celsius. So when you keep the temperature around 70 degrees Celsius, the egg yolks are barely cooked and egg white cooked very softly. I have a container that is designed to make onsen tamago, but you can use a thermal instead if you have one. For the tsuke maguro sauce, the marinade, pour 1 tablespoon of mirin and soy sauce in a heat-proof bowl. Microwave it for 30 seconds on 800 watt. Let it cook completely. I have 150 grams of the sashimi-grade tuna and cut them into thin strips. Just before serving, add grated wasabi or wasabi from the tube to add some kick. You can use sesame seed or sesame oil instead. Add the tuna into a bowl and toast to coat thoroughly. Transfer to a serving dish along with onsen tamago. My thermal version looks a little bit overcooked, but it's just fine. Find your own cooking time by experimenting. The onsen tamago from the container is perfect. Let's top with nori seaweed and ground white sesame seed. There you have it. Enjoy the umami from the sake and tuna along the way.
Next, I will introduce Goshu Junmai. This sake is made of Yamada Nishiki, the most famous sake rice to make a good sake. And the recommended serving temperature is cold to warm, so it changes the impression on each temperature. So I pair it with oden, the traditional hot pot. We cook hot pot on the table, so there will be a chance to change in the temperature because the heat warm up. So this is going to be a good pairing. Let me take a sip. It doesn't have a strong smell, but a very sharp smell. It has a very light mouthfeel. It's very sharp, and when you swallow it, it's almost like a spicy. The card said it's like a pepper. I love this sharpness.
This is a traditional Japanese hot pot dish. It is made from ingredients like daikon radish, fish cakes, and boiled eggs, simmered in kombu dashi stock. Let's start preparing the daikon radish. Winter daikon contains a lot of moisture and it is so heavy that has a natural sweetness in itself when you cook properly. We pre-boil daikon in rice water. The rice water removes the bitterness from the daikon and makes it soft. I always using the center part of the daikon, cutting off the top and bottom quarter. Peel the skin and cut into 1 inch thickness and shape the edges all around to make it round. This will prevent the daikon losing its shape while cooking. Put them in a pot and add 1 tablespoon of rice and pour water to cover. If you have rice rinsed water, go ahead and use it. I usually use rice rinsed water, but I don't have it today, so I just add 1 tablespoon of rice and water. Put the lid on and turn on the heat to medium, bring it to a boil, and cook for 10 to 15 minutes. Turn off the heat and set aside until the other ingredients are ready. Now let's make a dashi broth. I'm going to use kombu dashi for oden. This is Kansai style, but we use only kombu for oden. Put your kombu kelp into the water and start cooking on very low heat. When it reaches 60 degrees Celsius, keep the temperature for 20 to 30 minutes to release the umami. Take out the kombu kelp before the slimy stuff is coming out from the kombu. Then turn the heat to medium-high and bring it to a boil. Add mirin and soy sauce. And the oden dashi broth is ready. While making the dashi broth, let's prepare the other ingredients. Pour hot water over fish cakes to remove the oil. If you skip this process, the oil coats the surface and prevents the fish cakes from soaking up the delicious broth. Peel the shell from the hard-boiled eggs. Cut the octopus legs into 1 piece and cut off the tips. Skewer to prevent curling up. The octopus tint the dashi broth to pinkish brown, so I don't want that. I'll cook it separately, but you can add to the pot if you don't mind it. For the shirataki konjac noodles, pre-boil to remove the unpleasant smell. Cut chikuo fish cake into 2 diagonally and add to the pot. Simmer oden for 30 minutes on medium-low heat. You can eat it right away, but I recommend cool it down until it comes to room temperature because these ingredients soak up delicious dashi broth while cooling. Reheat just before serving. Transfer to an earthenware pot and there you have it. Nothing but the sake and steaming hot oden on the cold winter day.
Next sake is Izen Maboroshi. This sake is made of omachi, sake rice, the oldest heirloom strain of the sake rice. I think the heirloom produce like tomatoes or eggplants has more wild and robust flavor to it, and sake rice is not an exception. It smells fermented smell and it's kind of strong. It has an impact for sure. And I feel so strong umami to it. Sweetness from the rice and the strong fermented smell. This is so delicious. Can I say that? This is a delicious sake. Oh.
Mince onion and add to the ground chicken. And add ground ginger, egg white, a pinch of sugar and white pepper. White pepper is an option but adds a nice kick to tsukune. Add 1 tablespoon of dark miso and potato starch. Mix well with your hand until it binds together well. Flatten the surface and divide into 8. Shape into a football shape and line them on the frying pan. It's a kind of soft filling, so you can just directly line them on the frying pan. Start cooking on medium-low heat. Because it contains miso, it's easy to burn, so cook on relatively low heat. Cook a couple of minutes until the outside is golden brown. Flip it over and cook the other side and flip it over again. When you cook the outside, put the lid on and cook another 5 minutes to cook through. After 5 minutes, it looks like this. When you press it and it bounces back, it cooked through. Add in miso dissolved in the mirin and shake the frying pan to even out the sauce. Keyword pinch of sticks or toothpick for a nice presentation. Place them on a serving dish and apply some glaze onto the tsukune. For the finishing touch, sear the surface if you have a torch. The torch flame gives it a nice toasty aroma just like the yakitori restaurant. There you have it. Serve with a fresh egg yolk that is okay to eat raw. It will be a nice sauce to the miso glazed tsukune. Enjoy your sake and tsukune just like you're in a yakitori restaurant.
Next, I will introduce Taiheizan Nigori. This is a Honjozo style sake. The rice polishing ratio is 65% and containing more complex umami and a taste and aroma to it. And this is a nigori sake, so it has a sediment, so it's supposed to have some texture or creamy thickness to it. This is so smooth. It has more yeasty aroma and a little bit of chew with the creamy texture. This is my kind of sake. I like this.
Let's make fish kushikatsu. Kushikatsu is one of the very popular izakaya-style Japanese dishes. The outside is crispy and the inside is moist and soft. Japanese dishes are relatively low in calories. Why not enjoy the deep-fried food every once in a while? Let's start with making the breading batter. Using a beaten egg is common, but I always make the breading batter. This breading batter enables the panko to stick well rather than the beaten egg. Combine beaten egg white and water and flour in a medium-sized bowl and make a smooth batter. Pat dry the fish, I'm using cod, cut into bite-sized pieces. It should not be too thick. Season both sides with salt and pepper. Skewer 3 pieces on 1 wooden skewer. Dust the surface with all-purpose flour. Next, dip into the breading batter we made earlier, then put it in panko breadcrumb. Repeat the process. Heat your oil for frying up to 170 to 180 degrees Celsius. Cook 3 to 4 minutes until it gets golden brown. Before taking it out, hover over the hot oil to drip off the excess oil. You will be surprised how crispy it is when you do it. Take out onto the wire rack and rest it in a couple of minutes before serving. There you have it. Drizzle the Worcestershire sauce and enjoy. I love how the richness of the oil and sake complement each other in the mouth.
Last but not least, let me share the Senkin Classic. This is the one the quiz tells me this is my type. This is a Daiginjo style sake, which I love the most. The rice polishing ratio is 50%. That means that uses the very center part of the rice and it has a clean taste and a fruity aroma. This is a kind of surprise. The recommended serving temperature is cold or hot, so I go for the hot. Okay, let me take a sip. The first impression is very strong, but it has complex umami and very smooth. It's almost like a pure rice, fermented rice, with a comfortable aroma with it. It leaves a very sweet aftertaste. You will love this.
I will use raisin and cranberry because it's a holiday, but you can only do it with raisins. Pour over boiling water and leave it for 5 minutes. Drain and pat dry. Transfer to a bottle, pour sake to cover, and let it sit overnight. Serve with a scoop of vanilla ice cream and enjoy. This is an easy recipe but so addictive. Alright, that is all for this special episode. I hope you learned something from the video, and be sure to go Tippsy website and take a quiz to find out what your best match is. Happy holidays everyone, and I will see you soon. Bye!